Wagner ordered arson attack on Ukraine-linked warehouse in London. On the night of 20th March 2024, in the industrial dark of Leighton, East London, a fire erupted at a commercial warehouse linked to Ukrainian aid. It wasn't a random act of chaos, it was a calculated, foreign-ordered assault on British soil. The warehouse, owned by a Ukraine-supporting business, housed generators and Starlink satellite equipment, critical resources destined for war-ravaged regions in Ukraine. That night, those supplies were torched in an act of arson. And now 3 men, Ni Mensa, Jakim Rose, and Ugnias Asmina, have been found guilty of carrying it out, knowingly and deliberately. They weren't just vandals, they were tools. Foot soldiers in the digital chain of command that stretched from a Telegram chat room to the Russian paramilitary organisation Wagner, now formally proscribed as a terrorist group in the UK. In the Old Bailey courtroom, the full chain was laid bare. Mensa and Rose entered the site with clear intent. They poured accelerant across the warehouse floor. The fire, when lit, blazed ferociously. Footage showed them live-streaming the scene via FaceTime. The handler was watching. Meanwhile, Asmina sat in the car outside, the silent accomplice, keeping watch as the flames rose. Investigators found damning evidence, a knife discarded at the scene, with Jakim Rose's DNA embedded in it. CCTV tracked their movements from the car to the warehouse and back again. Mobile phone data sealed it. This was no petty crime. This was arson with intent to endanger life. But who were they working for? That answer came from 2 other men, Dylan Earle and Jake Reeves, who had already pleaded guilty. Both admitted they were acting on behalf of Wagner. It was Earle who, prosecutors revealed, received direct instructions from an account known as PrivateBot on Telegram. PrivateBot wasn't just a contact, it was a recruitment arm for a Russian state-linked terrorism campaign. Earle took orders, Reeves helped execute them. Together they orchestrated the arson plot and recruited Mensa, Rose and Asmina to do the dirty work. They were promised money, praise and a sense of warped purpose. What they actually delivered was £1 million worth of damage, a national security threat, and the first UK prosecution under the new National Security Act 2023. The warehouse wasn't the only target. Earle and Reeves had drawn up a list. Businesses and individuals with connections to Ukraine. They plotted an arson attack on a Mayfair restaurant and a wine shop, but it didn't stop there. The most chilling of their plans was a kidnapping. Their intended target? Evgeny Chichvarkin, a prominent Russian dissident and businessman living in exile in the UK. A vocal critic of the Kremlin, a man with enemies in Moscow. Court documents revealed a sinister plan to abduct him. It never came to fruition, but the conspiracy was enough to trigger charges under the National Security Act. This was a turning point. Britain's counter-terror police, now dealing with attacks influenced by foreign states, treated the case as a matter of national security from the start. Investigations led by Commander Dominic Murphy of the Met's Counter-Terrorism Command uncovered just how deep the rot went. This wasn't a one-off, it was a signal. Russia, through proxies like Wagner, is attempting to wage a hybrid war on Western soil, not just through cyber attacks or disinformation, but through physical, real-world acts of violence and sabotage. Mensa, Rose, and Asmina are just the latest links in a chain that leads far beyond East London. Their conviction marks the first time the UK has used its new National Security Act to bring terrorism charges connected directly to a foreign state's interests. This case has now set legal precedent. It also highlights a more uncomfortable truth. Young men, British citizens, can be recruited and radicalised online in the service of a hostile power, for money, for ego, for a false sense of belonging. Sentencing is due in autumn 2025. Earle and Reeves, already behind bars for their role, will likely face extended terms, but the bigger story isn't just about prison sentences, it's about a new kind of warfare. In the age of encrypted apps, online handlers, and hybrid conflict, this was a warning. The battlefield isn't just Donbass or Kiev anymore. It's here. It's Britain. It's Telegram chats in bedrooms in Essex. It's proxies with jerry cans in Leighton. It's arson live-streamed from East London for handlers in St. Petersburg. And the fire they lit was never just meant to burn one building. It was meant to send a message. We got it, and we're sending one back.
Take a breath. Light some sage. Watch this sponsored spiritual detour.
Spy be gone. Worried your neighbour's a Kremlin agent? Got a cousin with a suspicious beard and too much knowledge of drone trajectories? Worry no more. With Spy Be Gone. Spy Be Gone is the UK's #1 aerosol for detecting and neutralising covert foreign assets in your postcode. Just spray, sniff and snitch. Available now at B&M, Screwfix and Back Alley Telegram channels. One puff and poof, no more Putin puppets.
Kemi Badenoch today told any Conservatives who don't buy into her party's values that they're free to jump ship to Nigel Farage's reform. She ripped into those chasing more welfare and higher taxes and more spend, saying they're better off elsewhere. According to Badenoch, people who have probably been holding us back for a long time should go to other parties that fit in with their values. With Sir Jake Berry's defection already on her doorstep, Badenoch didn't hold back, accusing defectors of behaving like they do in banana republics, following polls, and defecting whenever they smell an opportunity. She made it clear, if you're not working on real Conservative policy, you're welcome to leave, and voters will be looking for a serious, credible alternative at the next election. This isn't just sniping, it's strategic. Reform is hunting for ex-Tories. A panel of 8 former MPs who lost seats in 2024 are reportedly being courted by Farage. Although he rules out figures like Liz Truss, warning Reform mustn't become Conservative Party 2.0, Farage's pitch is filtering for genuine reformers, not careerists. Badenoch knows the danger and isn't buying it. She brands these defectors opportunistic and warns that riding the reform wave could end up aiding Labour while fracturing Tory unity. She's doubled down on Conservative credentials, fiscal responsibility, triple lock pensions, trying to live within its means. So far, Berry's move marks the biggest blow, but others might follow. Reform hopes to build momentum. Farage counts on Tory disillusionment to swell his ranks. Sir Jake cast Reform as the real opposition, condemning Conservatives for abandoning core values. Badenoch's response, feel free to jump, the island of authentic conservatism awaits. It's blunt, combative, and not exactly olive branch territory, but it's where she draws the line. Meanwhile, the centre-right showdown intensifies. It's her fight for ideological purity versus Farage's bid to capture Tory disaffection.
Farage Flakes cereal. Start your morning the ReformUK way, with bitterness, nostalgia, and absolutely no nutritional value. Farage Flakes are made with 100% recycled Brexit speeches, dusted with powdered patriotism and sealed in denial. Comes with a free mini pint and a plastic model of a capsized Tory boat. Now, with extra bile, not suitable for Remainers, immigrants, or anyone under 85. The Shadow Cabinet's Cabinet, a luxury line of handcrafted mahogany cupboards to house all the skeletons of Britain's elite, used by disgraced ministers, former advisors, and one weird backbench MP who collects resignation letters. Each unit comes with a brass handle, a media gag order, and a bottle of whiskey, for when your past catches up faster than a Channel 4 expose.